Hi there. It's so damn hot. I'm sitting outside for the natural light. And you know what's the time now? The time is 2 o'clock. So you know what kind of sun you get at 2 o'clock in this part of the state. It's very humid, and no matter how much you freshen up and sit here without fan outside so that you get nature, what I can see all around here when I look up is greenery. There's a lot of greenery here when you look up, that is. But it's still hot. Have you felt like that when you just look at the plants, the leaves of the trees, and you just wish that it moves a while so that you feel less humid at some time? So today I was thinking of talking about a different topic, but then when I looked at the nature, I felt I should rather talk about nature. What aspects of nature do you like? Do you enjoy? And what does it feel like when you're with nature? So I believe that we spend some time sitting alone or sitting with anybody that you like. With nature, it makes a lot of difference. When I went to Gulf long ago, you won't believe it, when I landed there and I was just traveling in that vehicle, I looked outside and I felt, oh my god, what kind of land is this? There are no trees at all, nothing. All you get to see is one or two palm trees here and there, and the rest of the things, it is full of houses, one after the other. There's very little distance between each house there, and that's the first time I've ever seen such a place. And I felt it is so different, and I like nature. Nature has to be there. So what does nature do to you? So even if it is I'm not saying that we all can afford a place where there is a backyard or where there is a garden as such, because sometimes it doesn't happen. But what I'm telling is that there must be somewhere accessible near by, somewhere where you can just go and experience what nature can give you. हिंदी में बोलूँ तो प्रकृति के साथ जुड़े रहना बहुत ही ज़रूरी है इंसान के लिए. To stay with nature, because nature is a natural therapy. It is all natural. Just like when I say, when the light is bright, I keep adjusting the light so that it gives the natural look, the natural lighting, and it is not too bright, because a lot of brightness, it doesn't show your natural skin texture, that is, So it's always natural is much better than the fake lightings that we have. The same way is what nature gives you. Nature is a therapy, and it is pretty natural. Whether it is summer, whether it is winter, or any climate for that matter, still you need to spend some time with nature, and that kind of therapy you will not get from anywhere else. It's really good. So there must be some place you can visit very near to your house, if it is not there in your house, that is, which gives you that feeling of nature. It's very important. So what is that you like about nature? Can you just tell me? What do you like about nature? I like to know. What part of it? Is it the trees? Is it the beach? Is it the natural sound there is? Is it the streams, the rivers? Is it the sea? Or I told that at the beach, right? What is that about nature, and what do you feel being in nature? How do you connect with that? What I feel whenever I am in touch with nature is honesty. It's like it just takes out the core of who you are when you're with nature. You cannot sit for a while with nature and just speak of things that doesn't mean anything to you. It doesn't happen. you are always authentic and you are always honest when you're with nature. That's what I feel. What do you feel? So this is as natural as can be, you know. How does it look? With the least lighting and no filter at all. This is the natural lighting, and I think it looks so better, because you can even see that I'm sweating sitting here. It's so humid. So talk to me about nature. What can you tell me about nature? How important is it for you, nature? Being with nature, what does it do to you when you walk and when you sit in a garden, probably sit near a beach, or just do anything when there's nature around you? One thing, as I told you, you cannot lie to yourself when you are with nature. That's the best thing. You know, all the truth there is inside you, it just pops out when you're with nature, and that is the reason you should often spend time with nature, so that you can be honest. Okay, a lot of sweating. So somebody has to be here to hold this mobile like this, the camera, so that my hand starts aching after a while holding this. So tell me about nature. That is a topic. We will not get distracted today. One thing I already told you, nature, when you're with nature, you cannot lie. All the truth there is within you, it just comes out. That is one thing. Second thing about nature is that it will silence you. You can see that what's happening with me. I am running short of words. It's not that I cannot talk a lot about nature. I can, but see, the nature, when you are focused on nature, the effect that has on you is that it kind of silences you. It doesn't allow you to speak at all. And that is what happens. You are silenced by the power of nature. Nature tells you to slow down, to be silent, and to be who you are, as I mentioned in the first thing. That is the second thing that nature does to you, is to silence you. And you know how powerful it is to be silent. And so that is the reason it is called as a therapy. You want to be truthful, you want to be honest, of course, and you also want to be silent for a while, so that it will calm your mind, and it's so relaxing. Okay, now let me tell you the third point of what nature does to us. The third point is pretty easy, because we have already mentioned about the first 2 points. The third point is that nature brings us close to the creation, I would say. You know, the why we are here and what led to us being here. Those aspects become very clear when you're with nature. We are often held up in a different kind of routine and busy life, and all the other worries that we have, all the other plans that we have, all those things are in control when you're with nature, because it brings us close to the idea of creation, which means that the reason of why we are here, it becomes very clear for us when you are with nature. All the other worries kind of settles down. It's all settled, it's all taken care of. That kind of feeling comes. Yesterday I read a little of a great thoughts from a great philosopher named as Jiddu Krishnamurti. Yeah? And I was so taken into it, in the sense, so deeply engrossed in that while reading that. It felt like his thoughts were just dragging me to that depth where he intended us to be in the sense, when somebody is speaking something from the depth of their century, if I can say that, when they express it, there are certain people who are dragged to that level from where it is coming. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Thing is, like, some of our thoughts, when we express it, it comes from the surface level, but some of the thoughts, when we express it, it comes from the deeper levels of who we are. And when we express it, some people relate with it, some people don't. And some of the reasons could be temporary, but some of the reasons could be because they are distracted or they are not able to grasp the things from that level. But some people are just waiting for such thoughts to be shared, and it so happens that those thoughts, as it is released and as they come across those thoughts, it just takes you to that level of depth from where it is coming. And that is what I experienced yesterday when I read about compassion. I've shared it a little there yesterday, and it was so nice reading about it, you won't believe it. So that is what nature does to you. Why it does that thing to you is because, as I mentioned, because of the first two reasons. One is that you are honest. When you are with nature, you are truthful. And second thing is, it silences you. All things that you wanted to say, you have come prepared, doesn't come out at all. Doesn't seem to come as easy as that. That's how it is. So these are the three reasons why we have to be with nature. The fourth reason is that obviously it heals. It heals you inside out. Many of the diseases and sickness that we experience is not literally because of the external factors. It's a lot to do with the internal factors, what is happening within us, and that shows up on your body usually. And that is the reason when you spend some time with nature, what happens is that it heals you inside out. Which means that when your inner sanctuary is clear and clean, then the external factors seems to work for us. And that is what happens when we spend some time with nature. So that is a fourth point, I believe. So there are 4 points. What is tell me the fifth point, the fifth and final point that I can come up with. The reason why you should spend more time with nature could be that it because of all the other reasons which I just mentioned, it is pretty rejuvenating for you to spend time with nature, in the sense you are revived, and you are, it's like you have clicked the refresh button. What happens when you click on the refresh button, or when you have reset it? What happens when you have reset it? Everything is new. It works differently for you, right? That means you know how it works. Press the reset button. Any of the, it's one of the features that you have in your gadgets, right? So when you press the reset button, everything is new. And that is what happens when you spend time in nature. It is like clicking a reset button. And how good is that? We all like it. Very often it seems we have to press the reset button so that we have more space for the new things, so that we are able to think clearly. And the clarity of mind comes when you spend time with nature. So I think I've told you all the 5 points now. Is it too much bright? Let's change the setting. So that's about it. The 5 points we have covered. The reason that you should be spending more time with nature. Okay, let's revise them. One is that it makes you truthful. Everything that is not true is taken away from you when you spend time with nature. You cannot sit with nature and tell a lot of lies or make up stories. It doesn't work out that way. Second thing is, it silences you. You want to say a lot of things, and it feels like nothing is there to say. No more, nothing, no more thoughts to share. You just become silent when you are with nature. That's the second point. Third point is, it gets you connected with the purpose of creation. In the sense, you are in touch with the creation. And so when you are clear about why you are here, and what brought you here, the reasons behind the creation, everything seems to be okay. Everything seems to be going the right way. Okay, so that is the third point. What is the fourth point? I forgot. See, I don't remember or note down everything when I speak. So you have to tell me what's the fourth point. And what is the fifth point? Okay, so we already mentioned, I don't want to go back to all those things, but we have found 4 reasons why we should be spending more time with nature. Okay, you just go through that and you come up with a list of your own ideas why you feel that nature is so important and it's therapeutic. What are the reasons? Other than these 5 points, if you have more, it's well and good, right? So I just said all these clauses sitting here because that is what I felt. When I look around, this is what I feel. A lot of greenery it can do a lot good to you. So whatever is your way of getting in touch with nature, whether it is within your house or it is accessible to you nearby, then make use of that because it's therapeutic. And the last point is that it is like clicking on the reset button, and that is something we all want. We have to set ourselves new every day so that the next day is not the same as how it used to be the previous day. So that's what nature does to you, and I think you can come up with your own set of reasons why you like to be with nature. As I said, it's very humid and it's 2 o'clock, so we will close it at this point. And tomorrow, what day is tomorrow? Tell me. Today is 20th of October and it is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday, and I overate today for lunch. These days I'm kind of overeating because I don't want to lose any more weight. I'm trying to balance it a bit to keep a little of fat here and there. And as you say, you are the sculpture of not only your body but also your destiny. So if you believe you are the sculpture, you can do a lot of things to shape yourself and shape your destiny the way you like it to be. Nobody else has that much power to sculpt your body as much as you have. That you agree, right? So if you agree that, let me tell you, you are also the sculpture of the destiny. If your body is within your control, if you have the rights to shape your body the way you like it to be, whether you want it to be this shape or whether you want a curve here, whether you want a little of fat here, whether you like a little of lines here, whatever it is, you have the right. The same way is your destiny. You are the sculptor of your destiny. So if you know that, we will be willing to do a lot of things, and we will also be willing to keep away from doing so many things. That's it. Okay? So I'll be back tomorrow with something interesting perhaps. And have a good day. Today is, as I said, it's Thursday and tomorrow is Friday, the last day. Weekends, when I don't do this, I kind of miss it. So instead of doing this, I should be making a song video or even writing a story. It's been so long I've not written a story at all. Because writing a story is again a work of your brain, and it's almost like talking or writing. So it takes a lot of your brain energy, and you have to save it so that you're able to write a story. Okay, take care. Bye.